All right, I could ramble on about this. I'll just make it quick. I believe that things like Facebook, YouTube, other outlets like blogging and things like that, I believe it's a great opportunity to express your creativity. And for me, I mean, it's literally a hobby. It's kind of a cool thing or a good thing for me to do. So I'm gonna start a daily vlog, V-L-O-G. I believe that's the appropriate terminology. My interest is not to become a YouTube champion. My interest is to express myself, and I'm gonna focus on news of the day, things that are going on that have captured my attention. Most of the time, it'll be substance use disorder, mental health related, but not all the time. So I think everybody knows where I'm going with this inaugural edition of Rich's vlog. I wanna talk about the book, Drug Use for Grown-Ups. Well, and I'm not gonna talk in depth about the whole book. We'll just allow the title to speak for itself, and we'll allow all the controversy around all those articles where Dr. Hart said I like to do lines of heroin and I'm kind of chill, it's work-life balance, all that stuff. That's not what this is about at all. I wanna talk about one chapter, chapter 4, titled Addiction is Not a Disease. The basic thesis or the basic overall premise of this chapter is that we got it all wrong. That the National Institute of Drug Abuse, Nora Volkow specifically, has promoted agenda-driven science, agenda-driven research to support this idea of a brain change, to support this idea of dysregulation of the mesolimbic dopamine system, all of the above, right? That's what we've all heard our whole entire careers. I mean, I heard that in rehab when I first started working in rehab. That's what we taught. And that's what I still teach. If you look at my U-Turn site, I teach the neurobiology of addiction. If you look at all the stuff we do at Family Group, we talk about the brain scans. But I gotta admit, Dr. Hart shook me up a little bit. And there was specifically one part of the chapter that got to me. When he talked about the brain scans, he talked about just the fundamentally flawed aspect of the research around that. And there is some truth to what he's saying. Essentially what they did was they got people who didn't have a substance use disorder, they took a picture of their brains. They got people who did have a substance use disorder, they took a picture of their brains, and they compared these two groups. But if you think about that, that's not really good sound research, at least according to Dr. Hart, because it doesn't prove anything. All it does is prove that this random group of folks with substance use disorder have different brains than these people who don't, but you don't know what caused it. Correlation does not equal causation. Perhaps there was a pre-existing condition that caused their brains to have these issues with dopamine. Now, where I go with that, when I hear that is, nah, probably not. I still believe there's something to those brain scans. But here's the deal. This is where we really got it wrong as an industry and as people trying to help people. We paint with this broad brush and we overdo the brain scan stuff. Kids smoking weed, his parents find a bag of weed in the room, they call rehab, and the rehab's like, let's get him in, gotta get him in today, he's gonna die. He has a brain disease. That, my friend, is why a guy like Dr. Hart gets noticed. That's why his book gets some publicity and it makes some sales, because there's a ridiculous nature to the way we talk. And we talk with this level of certainty that I think the world is waking up to. They know that we don't really know. So I'm going to talk to people and I'm going to tell people everything I know about it. I'm going to be real straight with them, but I'm going to tell them a couple things. The safest bet is to bet on the fact that perhaps your brain has changed, and why take a chance? And let's focus on this idea of recovery being life-giving. And it's not so much that you need to give these substances up because you have some type of brain change. Perhaps you should give them up because there's a better way to do life. So I am not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm going to keep the brain scans in my presentation, but I'm going to be real forward with the people I'm talking to I'm not going to talk like this is settled because I think that the debate is just starting. That's all I got. We'll see you tomorrow.